releasing additional portions of the audio recording from that day. Please keep in mind, the person talking is one person and is the person on the bridge with the girls. This is not two different people speaking. Please listen to it very, very carefully.
The audio that you released, it says guys down the hill. Does guys and down the hill come right next to each other in the original recording?
Again, there's speculation about what that means, what was actually said, who said it, was it connected, was it the same voice? And again, that's an investigative component of this, and I'm not worthy to discuss it.
The man in this video has never been found and never been identified, but police say he remains a person of interest in the unsolved 2017 murder of 2 Indiana teens. Along with that haunting image, his voice was found captured on a cell phone belonging to one of the victims, 14-year-old Libby German. The bodies of German and her friend, 13-year-old Abby Williams, were found in the woods near Delphi, not far from the abandoned rail bridge seen in that cell phone video, and where the 2 girls went for a hike. Police released this sketch of the suspect in 2019, asking the public to take a close look.
The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these 2 little girls.
Kegan Anthony Kline, pictured here, is not charged in the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German, but he is in jail right now on charges for crimes against children.
Investigators want to talk to anyone who interacted with the Anthony Shots social media profile. This is the real man behind that account, 27-year-old Kegan Kline, who admits he created the account in late 2016 to meet underage girls and receive sexually explicit photos and videos. The bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German were found on February 14, 2017, near a trail in Delphi. 11 days later, and 37 miles to the northeast, on February 25th, Indiana State Police, the FBI, and Peru Police served a search warrant at this house in Peru where Kline lived with his father. No one answered at the door Wednesday, but a neighbor says the father still lives there. Police interviewed Kline and confiscated a half-dozen phones and electronic devices from the house. Court records say that Kline admitted to receiving about 100 sexual pictures from underage girls, many from places across north-central Indiana. Police found such images on several devices.
Back in 2021, we told you about a fake account state police found while investigating the case, belonging to a man who went by Anthony Shots, posing as a model to contact underage girls, asking for nude pictures and trying to meet them, leading to more than 30 child porn-related charges. This interview transcript from August 2020, shared with CBS 2 by the team behind the Murder Sheet podcast covering the case. They obtained these documents revealing more about that social media account and the man behind it, Kegan Kline. At first, Kline denies any contact with Libby German. The officer says, "I think you wanted to be truthful, and it was hard for you because you were scared. I mean, it's a double homicide investigation." Yeah. Then asking, "How did you meet Libby German?" Kline says, "I don't know. I literally don't know. I had to be on Instagram or something." "Okay, so she added you on Instagram. When was that, would you say?" And Kline replies, I literally have no clue. I don't remember talking to her, really. I didn't even know who she was until after I saw that on the news. And I was like, oh, wow, that name. Like, I remembered the name. But police had his phone records. The officer says, I mean, again, that's a lie, too, because we know for a fact when you were in Vegas that on your device you were searching about the Delphi investigation. Kline denies killing the girls several times throughout the interview. When asked if he knows who did, quote, "You think I know who killed them? Absolutely. Do you know who killed those girls? No." I asked Indiana State Police about the interview, this transcript. They told me, quote, "We are aware the Murder Sheet has released the attached transcript. That information did not come from the Indiana State Police.
I feel like I'm being harassed completely.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Not at all, and I've gave up my DNA, a hair follicle test. I've done everything they wanted me to.
Why did you create that profile?
I don't really know. I was just lonely, you know what I mean? Just talking to people. I don't know why I did it, really.
And were you ever trying to meet these girls in real life that you were talking to?
No, never.
Just 11 days after the murders of Abby and Libby, task force investigators served a search warrant on the home that Kegan shared with his dad. At the time, the FBI told the Lafayette Journal and Courier they found nothing to indicate a connection to the Delphi case. Kegan's electronics were confiscated then, but he wasn't arrested until 3 years later. He's now facing 30 counts of child pornography and child solicitation in Miami County, Indiana, unrelated to the Delphi murders. He says, though, that Indiana State Police told him Anthony Schatz had been communicating with Libby before her murder. So why do you think investigators are putting so much focus on you right now?
I have not a clue. I think it's because they said I was the last person to talk to her, is what they've told me.
And then she shows up at the bridge and they're abducted and later found dead.
Right.
And that was not you?
No, 100% not.
Kegan says he has no memory or knowledge of communicating with Libby, and investigators haven't confirmed if what he says is true. Do you think you're going to be charged with anything related to Abby and Libby's murder?
No, I don't.
So the state police haven't threatened that?
No.
What can you tell me about this man who has been arrested, the creator of this profile, Kegan Kline?
All I can say about Kegan is that entire issue and the entire release has allowed us to glean significant investigative leads. That's all I can say about him.
Harassed. Lonely, you know what I mean? Lonely, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Kind of busy right now. Leave a message and I'll get back with you. Thanks.
I was curious. I assume you've heard the audio of the person on the bridge saying, "Guys down the hill." Did that sound like it could have been Tony to you?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has like a very kind of high-pitched, weird voice. Like it's not deep at all. So yeah, I did not think it was Tony.
Did it sound like Kegan?
It did sound like Kegan. I will be honest. I'm just going to be honest. I did. It did sound like him to me. Yeah.
Lonely, you know what I mean?
Leave a message and I'll get back with you.
So guys, what do you think about this? Do you think the voice sounds more like Kegan, or do you think it sounds more like his father Tony? We're just going mostly just on the voices at this moment. I would really like to analyse further things about the case of, maybe the potential involvement of Tony or other parties, okay, that we know about with the Abby Libby case and the Anthony Schatz profile, but I'm just wanting us to listen to the voice just at this moment. Personally, I feel that yes, they both share the kind of like gravelly kind of voice, but I also, I haven't heard any other audio of Tony speaking in a slower way, but he seems to speak very quickly, going by his voicemail anyway. But who knows how he normally speaks? I don't know, but his own stepson knows. And the fact that his stepson is saying he has a weird higher pitched voice is interesting, because we do kind of hear that in the voicemail, that there is like a higher pitch. Whereas Kegan seems to have that very low, almost like a drawl. You know, they obviously share a similar accent, or the same accent, I'm guessing. You know, I'm Australian, so it's kind of hard for me, but I can see and hear, like, Kegan, the way he speaks, it's very long and drawn out, like very slow and very drawn out. And so when he's saying things like, you know, lonely, you know what I mean, and then you're hearing like down the hill, lonely, you know what I mean, it's kind of like the same. I'm not good with terminologies, anything like that. I'm not a statement analyst or anything like that. I'm not into speech and all that kind of thing. I'm not that versed in it. But from what I can see and hear just with my own ears and eyes, is the mannerisms very similar, especially the sound of the voice. And if anyone's going to know it, it's the family. Now, if you think of someone in your family and you know their voice, and you know that if you were to, say, go down the street to the shops, and it's a big supermarket or something, and you hear a voice and you know instantly it's your sister or your stepsister, that's kind of perhaps exactly what it's like for this Bart, okay, the stepson of Tony. He would know exactly what Tony's voice sounds like. He would know what Kegan's sounds like. So he would know the difference. Whereas for us, it might be a little bit harder because we haven't been around them 24/7 either, or grown up with either of them. So I think it's fascinating that Bart is saying that it sounds like Kegan. And you'll hear me say Kegan or Kegan. I don't know what his real name, like how you pronounce it. But even the stepsister, I did read somewhere, I want to look into it, that there's a transcript apparently with the stepsister as well of Kegan's, and she is, I'm pretty sure, also stated that it sounded more like Kegan rather than Tony. So I will verify that one, but I just find it very fascinating. So there's a lot more I'm researching into at the moment regarding the transcripts, and I'd like to do a bit of a case analysis on that with you guys, and as well as other things that will come up, I'm sure, within this this whole case, guys. So let me know what you think. You know, do you even think that you know, Kegan worked alone? Do you think it even was him that killed the girls? Like, let's have a discussion about it, you know. I will be obviously doing other videos for that, about that. But yeah, let me know, guys, what you think about the voice and the parties that might be involved. It can get quite confusing, because when I think of the profile that I've learned about Tony, which I will be doing another video on that one as well, it just kind of paints the whole picture of what kind of violence Kegan and his stepsister and brother grew up with. Although Kegan, I don't think really was the victim of Tony's anger as such. I think it was more the other ones. But anyway, that's another video. That's another time for another video. But guys, let me know what you think. And what kind of vibe do you get from each of these guys? You know, are they connected directly to Delphi, the murders? You know, as we know through the transcripts, that Kegan Kline is definitely connected somehow. But did he kill the girls? You know, that's the thing. And if he didn't kill them, why is his voice on the audio? And why are the police saying that the person on the audio was the one on the bridge? So it's a lot to think about and unravel, guys. Let me know what you think, and thank you for being here.